Whether it's your first time here or you're a regular here at Mr. Super Oz, I just want to thank you for tuning in to the channel. It exists because I, Oz, from the channel Mr. Super Oz, I wrote a 68-page graphic novel called Everlasting Survivors. Volume 1 is called All Day Long. If you follow the link in the description of this video, you can get yourself hats, shirts, posters, all kinds of fun things. But most importantly, you can get the story itself. And the more people that pick up the story, the greater the chances are that there can be continued adventures with these heroes. If you could, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, enjoy.
I forgot about this, actually. So, I've been so deep into trying to build this universe that I forgot about the way I open the 5th of September episode of Smackdown. So Rey Mysterio, who is our television champion, exactly, he comes out all pumped up and excited, and he's got that title, he's holding it up.
High energy.
Yeah, he is willing to defend against anyone, and we hear a familiar sound echo through the arena. But it is not a babyface sound. It is a dark and ominous Jimi Hendrix sound.
Okay.
So Hogan comes to accept Ray's challenge. He's in black and white, but no NWO insignia. It's
all Hollywood.
It's all Hollywood, exactly. And so this is the first time we've seen Hogan since the 4th of July Great American Smackdown episode, where Mark Henry got the, what I consider amazing Brock Lesnar spot where he bear hugs and busts open and smears Hogan's blood, which, you know, just cements the fact that Mark Henry is the world breaker. He's a top guy.
Indeed.
And so, because Hogan is in his darker attire, and because he's in that, he's doing that bad guy edge, if you will, he also rides down to the ring on a motorcycle, just like him and Bischoff were fans of.
Yes. Hog Wild.
Yeah, exactly, Hog Wild, which they could only do one time because Harley Davidson, turns out they own that.
Yeah,
that
still crazy
stuff.
To me.
But so Hogan rides down because, you know, he had really good success in the black and white in the main event of WrestleMania against The Rock.
Of course.
But here, since he's been back in the red and yellow, he's not been quite so prosperous. He lost to Hunter when he challenged for the Undisputed title, because we don't put that title on an old man like that.
Absolutely not.
Especially given the fact that we know he didn't do box office. And like I said, he lost to Mark Henry. He wasn't doing all that good in the babyface alignment. Not that he's full on heel necessarily, but he's just trying to get that edge, right? And so I see this match playing out a lot like, without Ray being heel, mind you, a lot like how Kidman would wrestle Hogan in the old WCW days, because of closer in that stature, body size, and just that speed.
Yeah, of course. Makes sense.
The thing is, though, that that Hogan's misfortunes continue. I know. So I'm not doing this just for you.
Oh, I'm not.
I'm doing it because Ray is fresh in the company.
Yes, brand new.
He is the guy who defeated Mark Henry.
The guy that absolutely crushed Hogan.
Exactly. And so to me, it is just a continuation of the elevation of Rey Mysterio to a place of prominence. And I'll even give Hogan the out of the Deadly Riders coming out and looking at his bike that he rode out on. And they don't touch it, but they feel...
They feel the energy.
Yeah, you've encroached on our territory, if you will. And so, while Hogan is distracted by the Deadly Riders, eyeing his bike,
Of course.
Ray hits Hogan with a drop kick to the back. He gets on the second rope, 619.
One of those gimmicks.
Yeah, exactly. He fall forward, 1, 2, 3. And while the Deadly Riders didn't do anything to Hogan.
No. He's a pro wrestler, so anytime anyone walks out and just breathes oxygen, distraction.
So what I was going to say is, although they didn't do anything to Hogan
Physically.
They are entertained by the fact that he lost.
Yeah, of course.
And so they're
much like I am.
They're laughing, they're happy, they're cheering like yourself. And so Ray, he retains. He goes up the ramp with his title. Everything's good.
Yep.
And as Hogan is trying to gather himself, the Deadly Riders they stand on either side of the ring, but Stephanie comes to the stage and says, "Guys, I need everything to calm down."
Stay cordial. This isn't Raw.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't just have all hell break loose.
And so at this point, Stephanie says that in very short order, November, I forget the exact day, we are about to reach the Undertaker's 12-year anniversary. And with your loyal service to this company, never leaving, and Hogan there getting it rubbed in his face.
Yeah. Never leaving, never going to competition.
Exactly. I, Stephanie, have decided that you will main event our upcoming Day of Reckoning pay-per-view event.
That's a great name for a pay-per-view.
Well, yeah, it was actually 2 video games on the GameCube.
Ooh.
But I actually adopted it for our universe because I want the video game to have a purpose behind its name. Yeah, like No Mercy was called No Mercy because they had a pay-per-view called No Mercy.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, look, Day of Reckoning doesn't actually come out until 04. So I'm pre-establishing in 02.
Like this exists.
Yeah.
You're not just doing this.
Yes. Yeah. And so Stephanie decrees while Hogan is, humiliated that The Undertaker gets the upcoming title shot against Brock Lesnar at Day of Reckoning. And at that point, Chuck and Taker don't do anything to Hogan. They just peace out. They go up the ramp. Actually, probably more off to the side. But regardless,
as you do,
we go to commercial. Steph's gone. Everybody's gone. When we come back, Eddie Guerrero comes out. So if you remember right, at SummerSlam,
yes,
he became the new Intercontinental Champion.
That is right.
And so Eddie declares that he is unlike the self-proclaimed king, King William Regal. He said, yes, I lie, yeah, I cheat, and I steal, but at least I'm honest about it.
Doesn't sound like Eddie.
He said, so at least I'm honest about it.
Yeah, of course.
And to prove that the Guerrero family is different than this chosen family that King William has put together, I, the Intercontinental Champion Eddie Guerrero,
Big Pop.
Yes, exactly. I would like to welcome out my nephew Chavito, who also isn't afraid to lie, cheat, and steal. And
at least he's honest about it.
Exactly. And so Eddie, when Chavo comes out, he says, "There's a main event coming up tonight, and I want it to be you and me for this Intercontinental Championship."
Guerrero versus Guerrero.
And so the reason is Eddie's trying to prove that these days of the title only being defended every 30 days, they're out the window.
Out of here.
And so, that was fun stuff.
Cool.
Up next,
I'm all with it.
Up next, we have some high-flying, fun cruiserweight action when Tajiri, who is accompanied to the ring by Tori Wilson, takes on Jamie Noble, who is accompanied by Nydia. Shenanigans ensue when Nydia and Tori, get into it.
Get it on.
Well,
nope. Maybe that phrase wasn't it.
It's okay. Tajiri goes over in the match.
Cool.
And Nydia is visibly displeased by this outcome.
Tis.
Yeah, but that's important for time to come.
Of course.
From that fast-paced, fun cruiserweight action, we go to a couple of body boys, we'll say. When we have Johnny the Bull Stamboli taking on Val Venus.
Couple big fellas.
Yes. So I did this because... So I remember that Mark Henry, after defeating Hulk Hogan, he wanted to have some fresh blood, and I had Johnny the Bull challenge, but I haven't really done much with him since. And
Yeah, of course.
as you may recall, I have this one thing that I want to do with Val Venus, but I have to keep using him so people don't forget he exists. So when the important day comes, they'll know that he has a job. So that's why I just have these two guys go at it, because hey, gotta have a job going. Have these guys show up to work.
He does show up for work. He doesn't just sit and cater.
Exactly. And so Johnny goes over Val in this segment just because I don't know why. Just because Val's important time hasn't come yet, basically.
Right. Makes sense.
So after we have those two, one very fast and one very strong match, we get some more promo time because it turns out my SmackDown is full of some long-winded fellas.
Wow.
And so out comes the Team Extreme Tag Team Champions.
V1!
Yes, V1 and his Magnitude follower, Shannon Moore.
Beautiful.
So in this talking segment, as a matter of fact, I'm not sure. I don't think I actually want them to come out to the ring. I think we'll do it in the back. Matt was really good about having rapport with people in the back, so we'll do it back there.
Yeah.
So in the backstage, that way we break it up from the way we've been doing it with Steph on the stage.
We'll start the Magnitude on the side while he's talking.
Beautiful. Love it. So, but Matt, he says, I think that our general manager, while she is,
what's the word we're looking for?
Well, I was going to say, while she is, adequate and positive for all of us here, she's missing a little bit of Magnitude. She's fallen short with her with my vision of how SmackDown should be. So, I, Matt Hardy, version 1, call out you, Brock Lesnar, because even though Stephanie has gifted a championship match to that 12
year veteran of the game,
whatever, however long he's been here, he hasn't made as big of an impact as Matt Hardy version 1.
That's great.
And so Matt Hardy, I challenge Brock Lesnar to accept and at this point, the Hurricane and Jeff Hardy come into frame. Matt and Shannon peace out, and it's over. Right? So we're just setting pieces up to be knocked over.
Beautiful.
Here's the other reason why I moved this to the back. Because after that backstage segment, we get XL Factor's music hitting. And out comes Just Incredible, Big Show, and A-Train, but no X-Pac.
There's no X.
And
it's just L Factor.
Yeah, it's just L Factor. I like that. And so the reason there's no X-Pac, and we actually hear from Taz and Cole that prior to Sunday's, we'll say upon the closure of Sunday's SummerSlam, it was caught on security camera that these three beat up their former protege X-Pac.
But he was the mentor.
Whatever, the leader, the founder of everything, right?
Yeah, the guy.
And so we show that these three guys took out Pac.
Okay.
And so the remaining three members of XL Factor are on their way to the ring. As soon as they enter the ring, we hear the APA's music just because it has such a great, distinct sound to it. And when they come out, they don't come out as a two-man group. It's Farouk, it's Bradshaw, it's D'Lo Brown, and it is Mark Henry. These guys are rolling 4 deep, and when they all get to the ring, XL Factor decide we don't want none of the ring. We're gonna get right on up out of here. And so the next note says to myself, I said, read the text that you sent to Josiah and G, and I don't have it handy. But what I will do is I'll paraphrase the best I can, because I have a habit of texting either Josiah or G or anybody really when I have promo ideas or storyline theories.
Yep.
And so I believe that it began with Bradshaw on the mic. He said, I've been hearing the rumors and the rumblings. Is this an expanded Acolyte Protection Agency? And Farouk gets the mic and he says, is this a new nation of domination? Well, Mark Henry is standing in the back, arms crossed, all serious. He's the world breaker. He ain't got nothing to worry about. And then D'Lo takes the mic and he says, this isn't the APA or the NOD. You can call this the NPAA because when we all work together, there's and no matter who steps up, it's no problem at all. So that's what NPAA.
NPAA.
Yes, NPAA stands for, and so it's just a way to help keep Mark Henry strong now that he's no longer television champion.
Of course.
It's a way to keep a lot of my favorites in storyline because I love D'Lo. Ron Simmons was legitimately one of my top 5 favorite guys growing up. I don't even know who, like, he was one of my top 3 guys growing up. Brian Pillman, Sting, Ron Simmons. Actually, Dustin Rhodes, will put him there.
There you go. There you go. Come on with a 5th. I know you got one. But who? Who can it be?
I would probably Jushin Liger.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
So, but yeah, so like I said, Ron Simmons was in my top 5.
Beautiful.
And so at this point, now that they've been named, now that they're all there together, we then see that they aren't just out here to talk. Because Crash Holly's... Yes, they're about the action. Crash Holly's music hits, and he comes down to face D'Lo Brown. And D'Lo, well, he wins because, you know, we got a brand new faction.
I'm about to say, I got to give him the lowdown.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, a sky high, all that good stuff. Show them that we're dealing with the real deal.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, so the MPAA, they look strong, they cut a good promo, and D'Lo wins. So we go into the main event, which is Eddie Guerrero defending his Intercontinental Championship against his nephew Chavo. Once again, much like I said about so many pieces of your women's tournament, this is a match we've seen before, and it's a match that I greatly enjoy, especially when it was happening in the WCW during that era of Eddie Guerrero's my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
But this is just a showcase of, you know, of great talent.
And Lucha Libre.
And while Chavo and Eddie are going out there and proving themselves, we have the Regal Counter Threat coming to watch. And of course, with that looming threat of King William, Eddie pulls out all. Eddie wins.
Yeah.
And he, upon winning, he helps up Chavo, and they both stand ready. And while you think that the Regal Counter Threat may get in the ring, Ray, who opened the show, runs out to stand with his Lucha brethren and be ready.
I like that.
No actual physicality happens. We fade to black as it's ready to go. But it's just to, again, all these things are to set up.
Build the suspense.
Yes. And,
I'm ready.
yeah, no,
Eddie, Chavo, and Ray.
Yes.
Families together.
Love it. I'm a big fan of this world, and I appreciate your generosity when allowing me to use these two individuals that I just had to have in Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio.
Yep. And listen, I got some good trade-offs as we'll discover later on down the line.
Exactly.
So,
One that you're having count the lights a lot too.
Yeah.